Hello, and welcome to Intimacy Evolution. I am Brianna Carey, one half of this show that I co-host with my husband, Mark. If you are new to our show, we're excited to have you join us. And if you're not new, welcome back and thanks for your continued support. So when we come up with show ideas for this podcast, we keep it under the umbrella of relationships, but not exclusively to romantic or intimate relationships. And in today's conversation, that is very present. Our guest today is Ashley Weller, a professor of human psychology, human sexuality, gender and sexual orientation, as well as host of What's Your Position podcast. It's a fantastic show. Definitely go give it a listen. I love it. And I also had the pleasure of being a guest on her show. So go check it out. Ashley has over 17 years in the field of sexual health and psychology and has a master's in health psychology as well. Her passion is education, and she hopes to teach full-time so that she gets paid to go to school, which sounds like a dream to me because I love learning. Today, Ashley goes into depth about the 5 love languages, which I am a huge fan of already, but not near the capacity that Ashley exudes in this episode. There have been some added love languages as well, which I was not aware of, so I loved getting to hear that in this episode. And these love languages can be applied to all interpersonal relationships. Again, it's not just romantic relationships. So I loved this conversation. I loved the depths that it took us. I hope you do too. Please, if you liked it, leave a review. Let us know what you thought of it. Screenshot it, tag us on social media, and share it with anybody that you think would benefit from it as well. So let's get into the episode. Welcome to Intimacy Evolution with Brianna and Mark Carey, where they discuss desire, intimacy, and how to embrace the changes within your relationship. Brianna has been a sexual health educator for 14 years and is currently working as a relationship and intimacy coach. Mark is a licensed professional counselor and has been running his own private practice for 6 years. Together, they have 2 young kids and have dealt with the many ebbs and flows during their 15 years together. Intimacy evolves over time, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Hello, and welcome to Intimacy Evolution. I am super excited to have a guest on today, Ashley Weller, who is a human sexuality professor. And I had the pleasure of being a guest on her podcast a few weeks ago, and we got to talking, and she has an amazing topic she's going to share with you all today. I'll let her introduce that herself. So welcome, Ashley, to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I love sharing podcasts and trading ideas, and we were honored to have you on our show. Thank you very much. So I was talking to you. We were talking on the podcast about like different ways of showing your partner how you love them. And I had brought up the 5 love languages, and you were like, 5 love languages. And I had asked if you'd ever done an episode about it, and you're like, no, please come on. And it's actually really funny. My husband was just up here and he was like, what are you talking about on the podcast? And I was like, the 5 love languages. And he goes, oh my God, it's your favorite. Like, I love these love languages so much. And I teach them in my classes. I have like 3 podcast episodes about them. I share this information with pretty much, it's mildly cultish how obsessed I am, not only with this, but also the 4 agreements, which is another episode for another time. You know, the 4 agreements? I love
Yes. Yes. So good.
If your listeners are interested, just go look at the 4 agreements and they will change your life. But I really just think that the 5 love languages is such an imperative like framework or like a great tool in any relationship. And it's not just about romantic relationships. They actually rewrote the 5 love languages, which was written by a man named Gary Chapman, there's been a lot of pushback actually against the 5 love languages. They are, I will give a disclaimer, they are heteronormative. The book itself was written from a very heterosexual perspective. This man is actually very religious. He's a Christian man, and he didn't write it in a biblical way. There's no scripture, there's no religious jargon or anything like that, but it is about a monogamous, married, heterosexual couple. So it's written from that perspective. So going into it, if you already have this idea that you hate it because it was written in the 90s by a Christian man, then I hear you. But I actually have an updated version that I'm going to tell your listeners about.
Nice.
That is a little
I haven't
more
heard this yet.
Yeah, it's a little more inclusive, and they added a couple love languages. And I just like to build upon any relationship. I'm not here to promote Gary Chapman. I'm not here to promote the book even. I actually just researched the love languages themselves. And I ask my students to take the love language test to find out what theirs is, because I really feel like it is so eye-opening when you realize that the way that you love other people, the way that you show love, the way that you want to be loved is also, they're so connected. And so when you are having trouble in a relationship communicating, let's say, perhaps you're feeling a little resentment, perhaps you're feeling misunderstood or misheard. It could be because your partner doesn't speak your language. And if you were in a relationship with someone who spoke something other than English, in our case, we would do everything we could to learn at least the basic framework of how to speak to our significant other. If it was Dutch, if it was Chinese, if it was Mandarin, if any other language besides English, we would want to know how to talk to our partner and express our love and express our gratitude and express our joy for that person. And so I look at the love languages as just a basic understanding of how your significant other or your mother or your child or your friend needs to be loved in that moment. The other crazy thing is, though, the way that we need to be loved also has a lot to do with our attachment styles.
So glad you mentioned that. I had that written down. So
yeah, I think that when used in tandem, the 5 love languages plus your attachment style, it's a really great place to set a nice foundation of how to not only love your partner, but also how to appreciate when your partner loves you in their own language. So it might be nice to hear the word, I love you in English, but if your partner speaks French and says je t'aime, that's nice to hear too, because that's their way of saying they love you. And coming from a really beautiful place of understanding your partner on a deeper level, I feel like the 5 love languages and attachment styles are just a really nice place to begin. Not a be all end all or a solution, but just a really beautiful place to start to get to understand your partner.
Oh my gosh. That's exactly right. Yeah. I feel like, because when we talked on your podcast, it was a little bit more about the bedroom love languages that I had mentioned. And
yes, it blew my mind. There's like bedroom love language, and that makes so much sense.
Right. And so I'm very excited to delve more into this. And I'm excited to hear about this new version as well, because I haven't heard about that. So I will just sit here and let you do your thing.
So I was going to tell the listeners what the 5 love languages are, the original, the OGs. And they can take this quiz literally anywhere. You can find this quiz. The long one is at 5lovelanguages.com. So it's like the original test. But they have this on BuzzFeed. They have this 5 love languages everywhere.
Yeah.
And also remember that your love language can change on any given day. And you may just be depleted in some areas one day, or maybe super full in other areas, and maybe an area that doesn't get a lot of attention comes out. But you will pretty much consistently stay between like 1 or 2 of the love languages. And notice if when I read some of these examples, if you find that that is also how you express love. And maybe people aren't recognizing that you're expressing love by doing this because they don't know that's your love language. And maybe it's vice versa for your partner. So my love language is acts of service. I absolutely love, like the other day, my husband picked me up from the airport and he bought me a latte with half sweetener because I don't want it too sweet. And he bought me a breakfast sandwich with no egg. And it's like the exact specifications to what I wanted. And like, as I landed at 7 a.m., and he's like, here's your latte and your sandwich. And I'm like, what a great, and then I got home and he had done my laundry. And I was like,
Aw.
I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to, first of all, sploosh. Second of all, I love you so freaking much. Like,
Right.
it's so wonderful. And his
Aw.
is words of affirmation and physical touch. He's kind of like both.
Okay.
So for a long time, he would like tell me how cute I was or like slap my butt. And I'm like, cool, thank you. But like, also, could you do the fucking dishes? Like,
Right.
where's my love language? And then I would like make him a lunch every single day or cook him dinner or put his laundry or do his laundry or go grocery shopping. And I'm doing all these things. And I'm like, why isn't he like loving me? Like, yeah, what am I, chopping?
Right. Yeah.
And
not
yet he was
right,
but he was reciprocating by telling me how cute I was and slapping my ass. So once you kind of understand the give and the take of it, not only can you give your partner their love language, but you can hear it when they say it. Okay.
Exactly. Love it. Love it.
Okay. So now I'm going to get into it. So physical touch is the first one. And a lot of people say that this is men's. This is usually a man's, but that is actually not true. They have shown that there is equal distribution between men and women. Again, very heteronormative. I'm very sorry, but that's what the research says. It's very split between men and women. And a lot has to do with how we were raised as children. So physical touch, if you were someone who got lots of hugs and kisses when you were a kid, handheld, hugged when you got hurt, physical touch may not be something that's depleted for you. So you may not see it in adults as much. But we do love being touched as human beings. It's just this physical feeling of closeness and safeness. So if you're someone who looks forward to hugs, cuddles, kissing, if you feel grounded in a relationship when physical affection is accessible. So if you're somebody who can do a long distance relationship, physical touch may not be your love language because it's that person's not easily accessible for you. If you love PDAs, it helps you feel wanted and desired when your partner touches you or holds your hand. If your partner sits next to you, if you'd rather sit side by side rather than across the table, you might be someone who likes physical touch. And if sexual intimacy is something that makes you feel loved and closer to your partner, physical touch may also be your love language. Quality time is the next one. Quality time is something that is a high one for a lot of Americans. And the 5 love languages is actually very culturally different. So in certain cultures, speaking praise about someone in front of them is actually considered a faux pas. So words of affirmation usually wouldn't score very high for cultures where they don't really want to say praises out loud in front of people, but want to say them when that person's not around.
Yeah.
So, right. So physical touch or quality time might be higher in those cultures, but it happens to be really high in the United States. If you're someone who likes to spend uninterrupted time with your partner, if it's critical for you that you have their undivided attention, if you get really frustrated when people are on their phones or when you have to repeat yourself multiple times, if creating memories, doing activities rather than physical gifts, but like going on hikes, going to Disneyland, I live in Southern California, so that's like the first place that pops in my head. Going to a concert, going camping, those things, if those are more important to you than physical gifts, quality time might be your love language. If you feel content and happy when you're just physically in the presence of your partner, even if you're not doing anything, and spending time with them is what makes you feel secure in your relationship, quality time might be your love language. Words of affirmation are another really high one for a lot of people. So being told how much they're loved, how much they're cared for, being told that they are proud of them. This can also stem from a lack of during childhood. So if you did not receive a lot of words of affirmation as a child, a lot of praise or a lot of I loves you used, this might be a high love language for you. But on the inverse of that, if your attachment style is avoidant, words of affirmation might actually be very low for you because you're not used to getting them and it makes you feel uncomfortable to receive those words of affirmation. So that's where the two can kind of intersect. So somebody might be like deprived of words of affirmation, being told that they're beautiful, being told that they're kind, being told that they're enough. And if they were deprived of that as a child, that might be something they crave, even if they don't realize it. So if you feel like hearing the words, I love you, those 3 words in particular have meaning for you, and you could hear it over and over again and never get tired of it, words of affirmation might be for you. If you appreciate when people acknowledge and praise you for work well done, no matter how small it is, even if it's just this dinner's really good or your makeup looks nice, those tiny little things really make you feel good. And if you could live on a compliment all day long, words of affirmation might be for you. When someone says thank you, if that means something to you, when someone actually thanks you for a gift or thanks you for your time instead of just is with you, then words of affirmation is probably your love language. Next one's my fave, acts of service. Hey, I always say that cooking is my love language, but then I realized I said it as a joke until I actually read the love language. I used to say it like spirit animal, like this is my spirit animal. And then I realized what a spirit animal actually was. And I was like, oh shit, I'm a golden retriever. Like that makes so much sense. But when I read the 5 love languages, I was like, cooking actually is my love language. It's an act of service. So if you are somebody who as a child showed your worth by doing, acts of service is probably going to be high on your list because you want that feeling of validation, knowing that you've taken care of someone, knowing that you thought of somebody or that someone thought of you by doing something rather than buying something. So it isn't as complex as it sounds. If you feel taken care of when your responsibilities are eased, like my husband said, we have a dinner reservation tomorrow. And I was like, they open at 5 and I need to push the reservation back 30 minutes, hon. Will you just remind me when I'm done with my podcast? And my husband goes, I'll just call. I was like, thanks. Like, that's really helpful. That's like so sweet. And it's just a phone call, but like I have trouble asking for help. So to take that from you, if it's difficult for you to ask for help, but you appreciate help, acts of service is probably your jam. If you think talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words, acts of service is probably for you. If you love when your partner steps up to do little things to make your life easier, if when you're feeling stressed and tired, you feel like it would be nice if your partner recognized that you are stressed and tired and take things off your plate for you, acts of service is probably your jam. The last of the OGs gets a really bad rap, pun intended. Oh God, I love a good pun. It's receiving gifts.
Yeah.
Rap a gift.
Yep.
More of this on my podcast, by the way. These really horrible puns that are terrible. We did this 800 times on your episode. I felt
it was so good.
Anyways, receiving gifts. This is probably one of the most complex of the 5 love languages because it is exactly what it sounds like. When you feel like you are loved by receiving a gift. Now, the gift itself does not need to be diamonds and pearls, furs, new cars, refrigerator. Who are these insane people buying cars for their spouses, by the way? Who does not? If there's a comma, there's a conversation. That's a big expenditure, like a vehicle. Anyways, if you like to be taken out on a date or have a memento brought back with you because you like to be reminded of sentimental moments. Like I really love rocks. I collect rocks everywhere. These are all from Turkey, all of these rocks.
Very cool.
But I also collect jewelry everywhere we go as well. And so I buy myself a gift, but I don't necessarily like it when other people buy me a gift, but that could be your act of self-love, right? Getting a gift. So when the gesture of gift giving means more to you than the gift itself, gifts might be your thing. During holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, you want it commemorated with a solid present, something that can speak to you. You want the present to be thoughtful. You love when people just know what to get you and the present clearly had meaning behind it. That is what receiving gifts is about. It's more about the meaning and the thought, the time, and the preparation that goes into the gift rather than I bought you a diamond ring, right?
Right.
That's not the same thing. So there's this new version of the 5 love languages. And it was redone by a site, a mental health site that does Enneagram tests and personality tests. And they have psychologists on the website. It's called truity.com. That's truity.com. And they came out with just this year in February, a revised version of the 5 love languages. And the revisions are really in the way that the questions are worded. Instead of saying, if your husband, A, B, C, and D, it says, if your spouse, if your partner, if your spouse, if your partner. So much more inclusive language as far as all genders and sexual orientations are concerned. But it also added some new ones. So along with activities, spending time with your partner, appreciating your partner verbally, supporting partners financially or with gifts, or being physical with your partner, there's 2 more. One of them is emotional.
Ooh.
For those who have an emotional love language, they feel loved and a deeper sense of connection when their partner is able to connect with them and support them through difficult and scary emotions. Being present for both highs. So a scary emotion can be joy. Joy can be scary when you're at the top of a roller coaster or when you're walking across a stage to collect your master's degree. That can be it can be a scary emotion to have a child. That's a scary emotion.
Sure is.
So being able to connect with your partner and understand the ebbs and flows of emotions and talk about it, hold hands through it, spend quality time during it. It's very important for somebody with emotional love language. The other one, which I find fascinating, and I think I have bibliophilia, where like I love people who read a lot. So I get this one. It's an intellectual love language where you connect through the mind. And it's about exchanging ideas, being able to have conversations that don't end in argument, being able to debate and look at all sides of a discussion, being able to share your opinion, take part in thoughtful discussions, hear new information and absorb it and get excited with your partner about intellectual ideas. And when they feel their partner values their opinion and values their intelligence, that is somebody who has an intellectual love language. So I actually think that Truity did a great job kind of touching upon some untapped sort of ways of loving somebody. Like, I guess words of affirmation are part of intelligence. You're verbalizing things that I love that you're smart, I guess, but I understand that intellectual one on like a personal level.
Yeah, totally. I relate to that one a lot. I joke around with my husband because he's, there's a sapiosexuality, sapiosexual, right? So he'll just come out and talk about something, or I'll be like, oh, hey, I saw this thing. And he's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he can spout some information about it. I'm like, how do you know something about everything? And then I would just like look at him sometimes. I'm like, okay, keep talking. Like,
keep going. How big is that brain, buddy?
Right. So I identify with that intellectual love language.
It's a good one. It's a good one. And they word the questions a little, it is a little difficult to answer on that quiz. There are some that are specific situations. Like if your partner came home upset, how would you alleviate the situation? And it's one of the questions was just worded a little odd. So just an FYI, if anybody goes and takes the quiz and they're like, Ash,
I will be doing that right after this. So.
I want to know your results. So why bother, right? Like why even use the love languages? What is the purpose of this, right? So it can help promote selflessness in a relationship. When you are able to understand that your partner maybe can't love in the way that you want, maybe because of trauma, maybe because of a past relationship, maybe because they've never been taught that way of love before, it can sort of help you let go of that need to say, well, I have to be loved this way. You can maybe learn to speak their love language and appreciate that they love you, how they're able, how they're capable.
Yeah.
And it can also help create empathy So as you learn about how your partner loves, you learn to empathize with them. You can step outside yourself by seeing how our partner wants and needs to be loved in this moment. What does my partner need right now? How can I love them in the best possible way? Not just, you're haggard, you get home from school, the kids are covered in snow, you have to make dinner, your husband walks in the door, the dog starts barking, one of the kids is on your hip, and your partner looks at you and goes, "You're so cute." And you're like,
Right.
"Buddy,
Yeah.
can you take one of them? Just any of
Right.
these off my plate." Like knowing what your partner needs. As one of my favorite, John Gottman, hello, Mr. Relationship Extraordinaire, likes to say, turn towards.
Yes.
The love languages help us turn towards our partner instead of hearing the frustration in your partner's voice when they're cooking in the next room and ignoring it because you're busy.
Yeah.
You know that they may need love in that moment. And the best way to love them is to go and give them a hug because they love physical touch. They don't need you to do anything for them.
Are you like
them.
watching my Ring camera? Because that literally happened today. Mark's been sick this week and his love language is physical touch. So he's been, isolating and I've been taking care of the kids and he's been coming out, today and moseying around. And I was literally cooking dinner. I was listening to a podcast because the kids were watching a show and he came up and startled me. And then I look at him and then he tries to like nuzzle on my neck. And I'm like, whoa. And I was like, okay, hold on. Let me pause. He needs physical touch right now. And so I took out my earbuds. I turned to him and he's like, "It's okay." I'm like, no, I grabbed him, gave him a hug. And I said, "I love you. I know you need this. I know you miss this." And just validated him, in that moment and gave him love that he was desperately needing after 3 days of not being connected,
Man, relationships are hard and it's not about you some of the time, like I understand like your, point where, you got the kids to watch a show. Everyone's been sick. We're all under a lot of stress right now. I'm recording a podcast later. I just want to have my buds in and be in the head. I don't need you nuzzling me because I don't want to get sick. And I'm also don't want to be touched right now because the kids are super clingy. But when you're able to step outside of yourself and really say, this is my person, like, this is my man's, this is my woman's, this is my human. Like I make humans with this human. They need my support right now. I don't need to be an ass in this moment.
And it felt so good because I could tell that he's like, "No, it's okay." And I'm like, no. Like
nobody.
And it wasn't just like a quick, pat on the back and like, "Okay, there you go." No, like we were embraced and connected and it felt every bit as good for me as it did for him because, I know that's how he loves and I felt good loving him in that way.
Exactly. You just read my next point. It helps us maintain our physical intimacy and our emotional connection with our partner. So the more you're able to speak your partner's language, and feel good about it and not feel like you're not getting that in return, or maybe, you're not being loved the way you need to be loved. But once you recognize how your partner loves, you're able to maintain that intimacy. I don't necessarily always mean sexual intimacy either.
Right.
Like there's so many other layers of intimacy. And to tangent off of that, these aren't just for romantic partners. Like if your friend is a quality time person and you haven't been spending quality time with them, you may lose them as a friend because we're not as cost invested with friends as we are significant others, but we should be. You know, we have friends that outlast relationships in some cases, whether it be because of death or because of breaking up. We need to cultivate and really tend to our friendships as well.
100%.
So knowing your friend's love language isn't a weird thing at all. Knowing your brother and sister's love languages, being able to cultivate relationships with them. If they are people who don't like to be on the phone, but they would really appreciate a card, Keep that relationship alive, cultivate that. Intimacy can be across any relation. You can be intimate with anyone that you share any part of your soul with. Intimacy is bigger than, well, I'm on an intimacy podcast. Why the fuck am I telling you this? This is what you talk about.
Good. I know, but it's good to get other perspectives. And I love where you're going with this. Like, it's so beautiful. And, that's something that took me a long time to understand with my dad was his love language is gift giving. And that was probably adopted from having divorced alcoholic parents that would try to buy his love and say like, well, you're not here for you emotionally. And so that is what he's done because he works a lot while we're growing up, wasn't around. So he's always, oh, you need this? I'll buy this for you. You need this? I'll get this for you. And it would just drive me nuts. And I'm like, I just want to spend time with you. Let's go out to lunch and hang out.
Is that your love language? Is quality time?
I'm finding that more so in my adulthood, that quality time is definitely that. And then noticing what my kids' love languages are, like my daughter.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Because they can't, they show it. They show what their love language is. Like I can literally pick up something my daughter dropped and I'll be like, oh, here, sis, here you go. You dropped this. She's like, oh, thank you so much. And it's so genuine. And she'll hug me and you can like acts of service is her love language, And so and
genuinely appreciates when people do something for her.
And my son is definitely quality time as well. So do you ever find yourself caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that you can't remember the last time you and your partner had sexy time? Or that you enjoyed a solo pleasure session? Maybe you have thoughts like, I don't really care if we even have sex. First, I want to say that you're not alone. I get it. Life can be rather exhausting, and sometimes sex is the furthest thing from your mind. But really, it's something you need to make time for, just like you do everything else. Not just because you deserve to feel good, but orgasms provide so many amazing health benefits that could help alleviate a lot of the stress and other struggles you might have. Easier said than done, right? This is where I can help. I'm offering an 8-week program for women that are ready to reclaim their desire. It starts January 11th, and you can find the link in the show notes to get started. I look forward to seeing you there.
It's really a beautiful thing to watch a person love in their language when it isn't your own. Like and then it's really even more beautiful to watch someone love you in your love language when you don't necessarily like acts of service. For me, like I said, it's hard for me to ask for help. I am a human being that's a whirling dervish in human form. Like I work full time. I have a podcast. I teach part time. I love spending time with my friends. I love going to concerts. Like I'm constantly reading shit. Like I'm part of a book club. I literally cannot stop. And so acts of service is my thing because I love to do all the things. It's hard a lot of times for me to have things done for me. So when I witness my husband doing those things, it is because I know he loves me so deeply. Like it isn't just, I love you, let me speak in my language. It's, I love you, I learned your language.
That's powerful.
It's gorgeous. It's and should be appreciated with more love.
Yes.
You should love more. Like it should be this never ending, like gushing love constantly. Just like you bought me a latte. Oh, here, let me kiss you because yours is physical touch. And then oh, you did my laundry. Oh my God, let's spend quality time together. Like there should be this cyclical kind of love. Right.
Absolutely.
And it's helps you grow as a person. Especially I noticed my love language. I took the quiz last night just to check. Every 7 years, you know, did you know every cell in the human body changes within 7 years? Like so we are a different person every 7 years. So
I love it.
Check on the food that you thought you hated. Like check. I used to hate sushi. I don't hate sushi anymore. So it's real, people. Like mushrooms, couldn't stand them. Now I eat mushrooms and everything.
I eat peppers and onions all the time now. And I could not stand them when I was younger.
I'm just saying, I didn't like Taylor Swift till this album. So
You're welcome.
I don't know. So I took my love language again, and I actually tied acts of service and quality time. And it might be the time of year, honestly, like the season, like it is time to spend time with people. And at Christmas, I used to be a really big, like, rapper, like not necessarily, I used to give, like, I would buy concert tickets. I would buy trips to Vegas. I would buy experiences. That's the word.
Yeah. That's what we love to do. We love doing experience stuff with.
And so I realized that I'm changing as a person now. I love quality time almost as much as acts of service. And it's good to grow in yourself, because maybe I am learning how to ask for help, right? So maybe I have grown a little bit and I'm able to kind of walk away from acts of service and maybe get into a different plane of existence. And maybe I'll be a more intellectual love language. And maybe we get to grow out of our love languages because we've now learned how to receive love in other ways. So personal growth is another reason to practice the love languages. And it also helps you share love in ways that are meaningful for you. So if you really want to spend time with somebody and they aren't a quality time person, it can actually help maybe get people out of isolation, especially after COVID, helping people really reconnect in a personal way. We've sort of gotten used to telehealth, mental health, Zooming with friends instead of actually physically going and seeing them, writing off the holidays instead of actually giving gifts to people. Wearing masks so we don't make eye contact or say thank you anymore, like words of affirmation, even to people in a store. Like really, we've disconnected so much.
So much disconnection.
So much. And the love languages can help you in every relationship, that of a sales clerk and yourself. Even just saying thank you and making eye contact, that's quality time. You've given another human being 5 seconds of your, you acknowledge that they exist for more than just bagging your candle at Bed Bath Beyond. Like, they're a human, and saying thank you to them means a lot. And these love languages really remind us how to be human beings, honestly. That's why I love them so much, because I just really love humans. And I can really want to make sure everyone knows they're loved and taken care of. So I told you, I'm a golden retriever. I'm like around the room sniffing everyone's butts, like hello to everyone.
Hello. Be my friend.
Be my friend. Yeah, I'm already your friend. I'm just waiting for you. So
yep, I'm here.
So that's really all I loved. I really just love talking about them, just to remind people that we're all human. We all need love. We all deserve love. And we all deserve to be spoken in a language that we understand. But understand that comes with caveats. Somebody's attachment style could be influencing their love language. It could also be deterring their love language. And then understand that these things change and evolve with time, just like everything we know and love. Intimacy, thank God, intimacy has changed and evolved. My Lord. People used to sleep in separate beds, separate bedrooms. I mean,
wild.
No. I heard today on the radio, somebody was like, my wife and I are getting an SD. And somebody was like, a stupid divorce? And he goes, no, a sleep divorce. We're moving into separate bedrooms so we get better sleep. I hear this is a thing. I hear it.
Yeah.
I'm aware that people snore and that people get hot when they sleep. My husband calls me a hot water bottle. We just don't sleep with covers because I just run at like 100 degrees all the time. Again, golden retriever. So I'm hot all the time and he doesn't care. He snores. I don't care. I snore. I throw my arms in the middle of the night. I could not sleep without this man. I don't understand how people have sleep divorces or sleep in separate beds. Blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. I don't know. That's really tough.
I explain it to me.
I don't know. Because Mark's been going downstairs to sleep in the recliner the past 2 nights. And I literally wake up and I'm like, where is he? What's happening? Like, and he's like, I wanted you to sleep better. And I'm like, but you're not here. I don't care that you're coughing all night.
I don't care. I will sleep worse with you not here than you here coughing. Like, even if I don't sleep, at least I won't have this dread in my chest. I woke up the other night at like 1 a.m. and my husband still hadn't come to bed. And I like had moved my arm and nobody was there. And I was like, where is he? What time is it? what's going on? And like, I walked downstairs and he's just still watching TV. And I'm like, okay, it's time to come to bed.
Yeah. Come on now. I need to sleep.
Turn your TV off because I need my cuddle buddy. Like,
Yeah.
that form of intimacy to me is, I don't know if I could ever.
I mean, when I go on a vacation and I don't have him, like I sleep fine because I'm
if they're not in my sight line, like I know they're not physically in this house.
But if they're in the house with me,
no, why are you not in here? There's a whole ass side of the bed.
Yeah, you're fine. We can, yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't want to cut you off. I know we were kind of just in the conversation, but I love that everything you shared, because one thing that I want to highlight is the importance of the love languages is, again, to know how to communicate with your partner, know how to receive what they are sharing, and also remember that you cannot expect yourself out of others, because that's what I see from clients is the resentment that pops up. Because they're like, they don't do this, or I do this for them and this and this and this, but they don't do anything. And I'm like, but I'm sure they do. Like, let's peel back.
Keeping score, right?
Yeah. Scorekeeping.
I took the trash out 10 times. Well,
yeah.
But I told you how beautiful you looked 10 times.
Exactly. But exactly. So when you have that common language, the common understanding, then that can help alleviate a lot of stress, a lot of resentment, a lot of hurt feelings that pop up.
Resentment is a death sentence for a relationship. It's just, I mean, you may get a pardon from the warden down the line if you can undo the resentment, but resentment is a death march. It's a slow death march to the end of your relationship. I try to just absolutely steer completely clear of any and all of that nonsense. It's such a scary emotion.
Expectations are premeditated resentment.
Exactly. What a beautifully stated phrase. My God. Lovely.
And so, when you start expecting things of your partner, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Have the conversation with them. Sit down, have that conversation.
No one knows what you're thinking.
No.
I don't care how long you've known someone, how long you've been married, how long you've been someone's friend, how long you've been someone's daughter. Nobody knows what you're thinking in any given situation. And assuming that they do is only going to make you miserable. Yeah. You are just making assumptions that should not be on the table.
Yeah. Creating stories. You're creating stories in your head about how a situation's going to go rather than having the conversation. Speaking up, expressing yourself, so important.
It goes to the 4 agreements too, which again, I will say they're all connected. You can't assume, that's one of them. Don't assume that you know my partner's ignoring me. Are they? Like, are they ignoring you, or are you just not hearing what they're saying? Right? Like, my partner doesn't do anything. Nothing?
Like literally nothing, or not what you think they need to be doing.
And also, sometimes we're going through some shit. Like sometimes we have our own personal, I had a bad day at work. I interact with people other than you on a daily basis. I have emotions that might be triggered by someone I see at the mobile gas station. Like, we're all existing as humans for ourselves, and we're all in our own story as the main character, right? We are side characters in everyone else's story. Even if you're married, you're not the main character in your spouse's story.
Right.
And you have to try to remember that. And if you need something, say something.
Yeah.
An apology, a hug.
Yeah. And if they seem off, ask them, hey, how are you feeling? Is there anything I can do for you? Do you need any support? Just somebody. So a phrase that we use with our kids is get curious, not furious.
Oh, wow.
So I used it with my, with my 7-year-olds with his sister who's 3, like, get curious, don't get furious, because we don't know what's going on in her brain. Like,
nobody knows what's going on in a 3-year-old's brain.
Yeah, no. So get curious, not furious, ask her, whatever. And I do. And then I have to remind myself that with my son. Get curious, not furious. What were you thinking when you did this?
Right. Why did you take my lipstick and put it on the wall?
Yeah.
What was your motivation there?
Yeah. What Just drawing a pretty picture. Cool. All right.
Okay.
But same with our partners. Get curious, not furious.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to feel yourself go there, use that as your like, okay, take a step back, pause. What is happening here?
Yeah.
And how can I come into this? And then how can we come together?
How can we look at the problem face on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of us looking at the problem, not us facing each other as the problem. We're looking at the problem together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know maybe this problem is too big for him or for her. I know that they may have created this problem, and that sucks. Like there may be like, okay, well, I did something, I fucked up, and okay, let's look and work and see how we can do this together.
Yeah.
They might be feeling shame or guilt. So you may want to try to give them the love that they need and the support that they need, because you are their person. Yeah. You signed up for this. You hide the bodies. Like, this is how we work together. Like, what did we do? Let's figure out a plan to undo how we can. Let's together.
Get through it together.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this was so good.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Was there any last minute things that you'd like to share?
Well, I realized that I've said my podcast, I just haven't said the name. So
please share all the things. Where can everybody find you?
They can find me at What's Your Position Podcast. So it's a play on words. It's a sex podcast, but we also talk about mental health and politics and music and sexual health, relationships. And we're on Instagram. You can follow us and get notified of new episodes. You can also follow us anywhere you get podcasts. I just found out today that I am on Audible.
Oh, nice.
I had no idea.
I didn't know Audible was doing podcasts.
I didn't either. I hope they're not charging people. If they're charging you, run, because I am free everywhere else.
Right.
And we're on YouTube. You can watch our videos on YouTube if you want. What's Your Position Podcast. And I just want everyone to just love freely and kindly and with intention, and just be super aware that our partners are humans too. And they're not made to make us happy. We are here to make ourselves happy. And in the process, hopefully we get to incorporate others' shine into our own. So
I cannot think of a better way to end the episode. That was a great way. So thank you, Ashley, for joining us today and talking about. Yeah, it was so wonderful. I learned a lot, and I love the love languages, but you just went even deeper. So that was amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you all next week. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you found this helpful, entertaining, or both, please take a quick minute to give a rating and review. That would mean the world to us, and it helps other beautiful humans to find our show. We'll see you next week.